This video is to help you with the bottom of the Drawing a Chemical Reaction worksheet. You should have already done the top half. So for the bottom half, you will need the molecule models. Please count them to make sure that all of the pieces are there. And if any pieces are missing, please let your teacher know. It says, use the elements on your table to create a chemical equation for the combustion of methane. Put together the elements to make the reactants CH4 and O2. So if you remember, CH4 meant there was a C with 4 H's on it. So I'm going to take a carbon, and I know that carbon is black because it says right here, so carbon. And I'm going to attach 4 H's, and the H's are the little white hydrogens. So I can count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogens, and all of the holes are filled, so I know that this molecule is complete. So I've got CH4 and O2, and O2 is the red oxygen double bonded to another red oxygen. Remember that they're double bonds because oxygen needed 2 extra electrons, so that is an oxygen molecule. So it says put a plus sign between the reactants, draw the molecules that you made. So I'm going to draw my CH4. And then I'm going to draw my oxygen. And I need to write the chemical formula. So it says write the chemical formula. This is CH4. This is O2. And then it says write the chemical name. So this is methane. And this is oxygen gas. Then it says use the reactants to put together the products CO2 and H2O. So in a chemical reaction, the reactants are the starting materials, and they break apart to form the products. So I don't need all of those materials. I'm going to break these apart, and I'm going to make CO2 and H2O. So CO2, I'm going to take these hydrogens off of here. And I'm going to break apart the oxygen. And if we remember when we made CO2 last week, the CO2, the O's are each double bonded to the carbon Okay, and then to make H2O, so I need an O and 2 H's. Now I see when I did that, I needed to get an oxygen out of here, which means that it was not a balanced equation to start with. So I need to think about can I add some coefficients or some subscripts or something to balance it. So let's go ahead and draw where we're at. So I've got carbon with 2 oxygens. And I've got water. This is CO2. I can write it in all the plus signs. Carbon dioxide, H2 H2O, and this is water. Now it says balance the equation by taking the remaining atoms to make another oxygen gas molecule and another water molecule. Place these next to the existing oxygen and water molecules. Draw the chemical reaction below and use what you built to help you color the appropriate atoms. So it says that I need to make another oxygen gas and another water. So I'm going to make another oxygen gas. So when I started, if I had 2 oxygen gases, then at the end, I could have 2 water molecules, and it would be all balanced. So if I add another oxygen, and another water, water. So now that I have 2 oxygen gas molecules, I can add a coefficient of 2 in front of it to indicate that there are 2 oxygen gas molecules. And now that I have 2 water molecules, I can add a coefficient of 2, which tells me that there's 2 water molecules. And if I go through and I count the particles on the reactant side and the particles on the product side should be the same. So I should have 1 carbon on both sides. So I have 1 carbon here and 1 carbon there. Here I have 4 hydrogens, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this side I now have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the oxygens, I have 4 on this side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I should have 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I know that the equation is properly balanced.